Welcome to CN Movies, the show where we review movies but from a Christian's perspective. This is the third time I've done this opening, and I'm the filmmaker.
I'm the film watcher.
And today we're reviewing Pocahontas, which we haven't seen in quite a long time before watching it for this review. Do you even remember watching it the last time?
I don't really.
Neither do I. I don't even know. You know what? Honestly, I might not have never watched it all the way through.
I know I watched it. It's been years.
I'm just saying. Before this review, if someone told me I had never watched it, I'd be like, I believe you, because we didn't own it as kids, so I don't. It's very possible.
Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
The first category is story. Along the edgewaters of Virginia, Pocahontas, the free-spirited daughter of Chief Powhatan? Sure, watches as a mysterious shipload of English settlers arrives, led by the greedy Governor Ratcliffe and the courageous Captain John Smith, along with her playful pals Miko, a mischievous raccoon, and feisty hummingbird. I feel like I should have said and a feisty hummingbird. Whatever. Pocahontas develops a strong friendship with Captain Smith, but when tensions mount between their two very different cultures, Pocahontas seeks the lively wisdom of Grandmother Willow to help her find a way for everyone to live together in peace. Released in 1995, by the way. Yes, peace. This was after Lion King, but before Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yes.
So, things are actually pretty high. A lot of expectations for this movie. Very quickly, I was reading on this movie, and it turns out that a bunch of people at Disney actually abandoned making The Lion King in favor of Pocahontas, thinking that this was the next Beauty and the Beast. That Lion King wasn't. It was just another movie. And that this was the next big thing. This was the next Beauty and the Beast. This was going to go for Best Picture, because Beauty and the Beast got nominated for Best Picture and didn't win. But, I mean, that's pretty amazing for a kid's movie. So they were like, Pocahontas is the next one. We got this.
Nope.
No. The story is actually loosely based on the real Pocahontas, which I guess was a lot of people's issues back in the 90s. I don't give two rips. I think that the actual story of Pocahontas would have made a bad movie. An interesting movie, but not a kid's movie. Yeah, because Pocahontas was actually 12 years old, and here she's like 17, 18, 19, 20. Somewhere in that time. Somewhere in that age. It doesn't really clarify. We're guessing of age, whatever of age was considered at the time, because Captain John Smith, voiced by Mel Gibson, was definitely in his like late 20s. I would say here he's like late 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did think though, because they didn't go with the original story Pocahontas, it worked in the movie's favor.
Well, yeah. I mean, it could have made a fun movie about a 12-year-old
12-year-old falling in love with a...
No, she didn't have to fall in love with him. Could have been like the Big Friendly Giant.
Oh, okay. So like English settlers came over and she's 12, and that's kind of scary.
Yeah, but she makes friends with him anyways. I don't know.
The thing with John Smith still had to happen though.
Well, yeah, she still saved his life.
Yeah. The plot is based off of Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
The love story, I guess. Yeah, it's really based off of Romeo and Juliet, and they didn't add anything new to make it. It's just a different setting. Just Romeo and Juliet, but
well, no one died.
settlers times.
It's pretty much true.
Yeah. Except for the characters, they didn't kill themselves at the end.
Yeah.
Magic doesn't make any sense in this movie.
No.
At all. Why doesn't the magic make any sense? Please explain.
There's no.
Because I don't think it makes any sense.
Magic does whatever it wants. Basically.
Whatever's convenient for the plot.
Whatever's convenient for the plot.
Whatever's convenient for the plot, that's what the magic does. Yeah. Pocahontas, just like, alright, it's a perfect example. Pocahontas and John Smith meet. They clearly speak two different languages. But unlike in Tarzan, they learn English, or they learn how to communicate perfectly, and it's with English in less than an hour.
Well, it's because she listened to her heart.
She listened to her heart, and the magic helped.
Yeah.
Yes, she trusted her heart and let fate decided that that's a Phil Collins song, man. Yeah, less than an hour, her and John Smith were able to communicate perfectly, and neither of them question it. Now, I understand Pocahontas maybe not questioning it because she's used to magic just doing whatever makes her better. But John Smith, being someone from England, should have been like,
that was weird.
Yeah, how? Wait, what? Like, being someone who's not used to magic, I imagine, but apparently he was just like, whatever, this hot chick and me, I communicate. Yeah. Let's make out, I guess. Do you have anything else to add? I have one thing, but I'll wait.
Well, the other plot hole that I didn't like was that Pocahontas didn't go with him at the end.
Oh, well, that's what I was going to say. Pocahontas doesn't go to England. She doesn't go to England with him. Which, by the way, IRL, she did. She did go to England.
Which is what Pocahontas 2 is about.
Yeah, okay, so figure that one out. She doesn't go with him at the end of Pocahontas 1 to England, but somehow she's in England in Pocahontas, which I think is a great idea. Fish out of water, as I said about Tarzan going, back when we did the Tarzan review way back in the day. She goes there in this movie. So how come she didn't go at the end of this movie? How do these two movies connect? We don't know yet. We actually haven't... We've been putting this one off for a while. But Pocahontas 2, she actually does go to England. But at the end of Pocahontas, it was like, no, I'm needed here in my tribe. Nobody needed
And literally,
her.
her dad was like, you can do what you want.
He's like, it's cool, man. Like, we got this under control. We've been running the tribe for many years without you, Pocahontas. We're good.
You're never here anyways. You're always running off.
She is. She's never with the tribe. She's constantly doing her own thing. Constantly during the whole movie. Which is fine if she was going to leave. Because remember, she didn't want to marry that one, Indian because he wasn't any fun. He was like a regular Indian. And then John Smith comes along and he's different. And she's like, I love you. Let's kiss and be all in love and speak English. And then she doesn't go to England. She's like, no, I'm needed here.
I want to explore around the river bend, but I don't want to go to England.
Just around the river bend. We haven't got to the music yet, though. So for story, I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I gave it an 8, but I don't know.
In retrospect, should it be lower?
Probably.
What would you lower it to?
Like a 6.
All right, so you officially give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
I officially give it a 7 out of 10.
Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
The next category is characters. Pocahontas is likable,
Yeah.
and she's really pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, she's like like I harassed you about Mulan and the dude in Mulan, but if Pocahontas was a real, like, if she really was real, like, she'd be a looker. I don't say that about any cartoon characters, because that's a ridiculous thing to say. Pocahontas is a looker.
Yeah. She's definitely hot.
I didn't say that. I said she's a looker. I said she's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very likable. But she's definitely selfish. She's very selfish. She does whatever selfish thing she wants constantly.
She just goes with the wind.
She just
follows her heart.
She does. She follows. She goes with the colors of the wind. She just waits to see what's around the river bend.
She's just a free spirit.
Yeah, man. She's just a free spirit, brah. Yeah, brah. She wanted a fun guy. Meets one, then doesn't go on the adventure with him, as we mentioned earlier. That's what she said she wanted. That's what was going to make her happy. Not marrying the boring guy who's responsible.
Maybe she matured.
That's not what happened. All right, so there's a moose cameo in this movie, and I'll show the clip like right here for it. But this cameo right here is destined to be a meme or a GIF. Somebody needs to make it into a GIF because that moose's face.
If it was destined to be a meme, it would have been a meme.
No, I don't think anybody's watched Pocahontas since Pocahontas came out, honestly. I don't think anybody watches Pocahontas. Pocahontas isn't one of those movies that just demands repeat viewings.
But you're going to get a lot of comments from a lot of girls that just adore this movie.
I think you might be wrong. I think you
There's
misjudge our fan
a lot of girls
base.
that love Pocahontas.
Our fan base, as we said way
That's
back
true.
in the day, is our fan base is really old. Like 67. Like, they remember World War II. Okay? So, they were there. All right? We have an old fan base. But yeah, that moose cameo is pretty legit. And then, do you have any other positives to add to the characters?
I liked Thomas, but he wasn't in the story much. He was the
Thomas voiced by
kid.
Christian Bale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
Yeah.
liked his
Yeah.
character.
Fun fact. Thomas is voiced by Christian Bale.
Yeah. I didn't.
I had to
know
look that one up, though. It didn't
Yeah.
sound like Christian
It
Bale.
didn't.
Which I guess is a good job on him, but... Yeah, so for the negatives, Pocahontas' dad's line delivery is very stilted. He's very noticeably a bad voice actor in this movie. But because...
I honestly think it was done on purpose. Like, the racial stereotype
You
of,
think
like,
so?
how
Yeah,
the
but
sun
okay.
is rising.
But he wasn't speaking English. He was speaking his...
I know, but
He was speaking the language they
any
speak,
old
and they translate it for
Western
us.
Or any old movie with Indians in it, like, they speak that way.
But he's the only Indian. All the other Indians speak
Normally.
fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then him. It's almost like they were like, well, we need at least one Indian in this movie who sounds right. And I don't even know if he was, because I didn't actually check to see who voiced him. But it's almost like that's what happened, because they have so many Americans in this movie. Mel Gibson being John Smith actually makes sense, because they're English, yeah. But Pocahontas' dad is so terrible. The villain is lame. Governor Ratcliffe. Like, he was like the lamest villain, I think, of any of the movies we've watched. He's just, who cares? Even Clayton from Tarzan was a better villain than Governor Ratcliffe from Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Who thought this was the next Beauty and the Beast? Anyways, John Smith is kind of dull.
Yeah,
even
I
if he is
agree with
voiced by Mel Gibson. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just dull. And why is Governor Ratcliffe's puppy evil?
Well, you have to be evil.
No. How is a puppy evil?
Have you not seen Cinderella?
Apparently not in a while.
Lucifer is evil.
Lucifer is the name of Satan.
That's the cat that the stepmother owns.
Lucifer is the name of Satan. That makes sense.
And
the puppy is just the puppy, and he's evil.
Well, by the end of it, he's nice. That's all he's known. He had an evil master. I don't know.
Because he had an evil, so it's like father, like son, but
Yes.
puppy. Mm-hmm. And I have a theory, and I'm pretty sure almost everybody probably thought this. Pocahontas may be on drugs. She talks to trees. The entire Color of the Wind song sequence. She's singing about what's around the river bend. Like, the river doesn't change. Like, every time you go around it, it's the same stuff, man. I've been on rivers, and nothing
It does
changed.
change.
Maybe if she was smoking something, things look different. She's smoking a little grass.
Things change. Nature changes.
I don't know. It's just, maybe she's going, like, around, like, once a year, then. That's what, like, how, they don't change that often, man. She's smoking something. But, yeah. So, for characters, I gave him a 6 out of 10.
I give him 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
The next category is music. This is probably the best part of the movie.
The music is good. I think that the villain song is kind of underrated. Like,
Really? I thought it was just
Yeah.
unforgettable.
I liked it.
You're a nerd.
I don't know. I
You don't know if you're a nerd?
Well, no, I'm a nerd, but I liked it because it's showing like the villain's whole all he wants is gold and stuff. But then it contrasts with John Smith like saying the real value of the land is in the beauty and the nature and the adventure.
It is.
And I don't know, I thought it was a good song. I thought they did really well with the animation of it and like the whole like dance routine of it. I liked it.
I thought
that was good.
I do remember the lighting in that song, which is animation. We'll get to that later. The lighting during that song was really nice, which is a weird thing, I guess, to say. I don't know. There was like certain parts of the movie where I thought the lighting was kind of. I know we're getting on animation here, but it applies here. The lighting was kind of like flat, but then during all the songs had beautiful imagery. We're getting into animation. We'll talk about that later. But the actual song I thought was instantly forgettable. Savages also has super simplistic lyrics.
Savages.
Yeah.
Savages, barely even human. Savages, drive them from our shore.
But the real kicker here is just around the river bend.
You hate that song?
No, I like it.
I look once more just around the river bend beyond the shore where the gulls fly free.
Oh, that was pretty good.
You love Colors of the Wind.
It's nonsensical but catchy. Oh, thanks for ruining the best part of this
sorry.
movie. The whole reason for watching this movie is Colors of the Wind. In fact, buy the VHS,
Which is
DVD,
still
Blu-ray,
kind
and
of
just watch that.
a drug trip.
Go on YouTube and watch Colors of the Wind right now. Pause this video, exit this video, whatever you have to do, and go watch Colors
We'll
of the
put
Wind.
a link for you.
Need to sing with all the voices of the mountain. Need to paint with all the colors of the wind.
Is the best Disney song. I mean, Be a Man from Mulan is fantastic.
No,
Colors,
B-Man's better.
Colors of the Wind is so good.
No.
Musically, it's so good.
No.
Okay, well, Be a Man. Can we call it equal?
No.
You're wrong. Colors of the Wind is so great. And yeah, the entire they're singing underwater at one point, as you pointed out. I was like, I didn't think about that. I'm like, they are singing underwater at one
She
point.
was, yeah.
She was, and John Smith's just like, what's going on right now? I think she gave him drugs off screen, and then on screen, underwater singing. But anyways, Colors of the Wind was fantastic. Music got an 8 out of 10 from me.
I gave it a 7. I don't know. And
It would have gotten higher if all the songs were like just around the ribbon and Colors
well,
of the
the
Wind.
first song, I think it was the first song. You don't even understand what they're saying.
It's true.
Like
I didn't even write it down because I was like, I don't know what the song's called.
It was the Virginia Company. They were leaving England.
Oh no, I wrote that down. Virginia Company is instantly forgettable.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But you couldn't understand the words except for Virginia Company. And
It's true.
Yeah.
It was a whatever song.
it just bugged me that
It
you
was
couldn't
like, who
understand them.
cares? Yeah. But anyways, 8 out of 10. You give it a 7 out of 10.
7.
Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
The next category is animation. The animation was kind of all over the place in this movie. Whereas, I guess earlier reviews, we mentioned Tarzan and Mulan, perfect. Hercules was pretty good. And it seems like this was what, before Hunchback? So this is earlier. So I don't know if Disney had it nailed. We haven't reviewed Lion King or anything yet. But I don't know. So it's simplistic when it's not during music. The animation is just kind of
It
basic.
just wasn't consistent. Like, the simplicity I get because it's like the new world and everything's pure and untouched. But I don't
But then
know.
during the songs, it's like all of the effort went into the songs. All of it. Every animator's like, we got to make Colors of the Wind look fantastic, and they did a great job. And apparently they were showing Colors of the Wind like 9 months before the movie came out in theater, or 8 months before the movie came out in theaters. They were showing Colors of the Wind in theaters before like showings of Lion King and stuff, and I'm sure maybe other movies, I don't know. But for a fact, before Lion King, they were like, this is it. Like, you're gonna love Pocahontas. Like, Disney was really on this movie being the next big thing. And I mean, Colors of the Wind's fantastic, and all the songs, like, even like that's what I was saying earlier, the villain song, like, the lighting was fantastic. If you look at it, watch it again, like, why isn't it like the whole movie like this? It's like they were doing an above average job during the whole movie, and then during the songs, there's like, they spent all their time and effort making those songs look fantastic.
Possible.
That's what it seems like.
It made it look weird though. It was off.
It did, because you're like, why does it look so good now? And then it goes back to regular, and you're like, here's the ho-dum. Yeah, it made the rest of the movie feel like it was kind of a drag.
Mm-hmm.
When it wasn't music, you're like, well, when's the next song gonna come then? I guess. Yeah, it was kind of like that.
The one part I will say that was not that way. It was in Pocahontas and John Smith first meet at the waterfall with like the mystery.
That was nice.
That was a good scene.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
Yeah, Disney movies usually do a good job of when they show the landscape of the place. They usually give you like the awe and wonder of what you're looking at.
But there were no details. Like there was no like in any other movie that we watched, the small details are consistently throughout that make the movie.
It's inconsistent.
Yeah.
The animation's just inconsistent, straight up. Because the color palette does a great job of enhancing the setting, making you feel like, but it doesn't feel like America, which I guess as America as we know it is different. 300 years later, 250 years later, however long it's been. What? Well, I think this was set during 1600s. They didn't really specifically say, so this might be like.
It would have been.
This might be like 400-year
Yeah.
difference. Something like that, man. It's been quite a while. So
Yeah.
America wouldn't look like the way we expected, but I don't know, man. Just it was so inconsistent. And I gave it a 6 out of 10 for being
I
so
gave it a
inconsistent.
6.
Yeah. It's so shameful.
Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
The last category is Christian nutritional value.
This
I've
was
seen
a-
your score, so I'm going to go first because I think that we need to mention
Okay.
not judging someone based on them being different than you. Kind of like the Zootopia thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to this is like, but this is 20. This is 21 years before Zootopia. My goodness, that was so long ago. 1995. Woo! I can't believe it was that long ago. Anyways, not judging someone based on them being different than you, I thought was a positive. But let's jump into the negatives. God is referred to as "quote unquote" dream giver because he
Who
kind
said
of.
it was God? No one said it was
Well,
God.
I'm only giving it credit in terms of she looks up at the sky and says dream giver. And so she didn't say dream givers like multiple gods. She said dream giver. So I gave him credit and said, but that's how God's referred. Assuming she's talking about the God, he's referred to as dream giver. And then the whole listen to your heart crap this might be the movie for listen to your heart, man.
Yes.
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 This movie was
Like the poster child for.
Pocahontas is the poster child for everything wrong in a Disney movie. Go ahead and give all your negatives. I see your score.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think this, from a Christian's perspective, this movie does have a lot of negatives. It's completely filled with animism and colors.
Explain
of
what
the wind.
animism is.
Animism is a religious phenomenon, basically, where you assign spiritual characteristics to inanimate objects. So the trees are spiritual, the rocks
Trees
are
can talk,
spiritual, the animals are spiritual.
Yeah.
Like at the end, the spirit of the eagle gave her strength. The spirit of the deer gave her strength.
You never
whatever.
seen Hot Rod, but in Hot Rod, he like channels all these different spirit animals as a joke. And but here it's serious. Here it's not a joke.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, just the whole magic and the animism are just it's a big no-no because...
Big no-no. No.
No, I just didn't like it. It's not, that is not
You didn't
at
like
all
it because it wasn't at all
what scripture teaches.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I like the fact that, yes, nature is important and God did create nature to be like a representation of him and how creative and awesome he is. And I see it when I go to nature. Like, it does point you to God.
Yeah.
But nature itself isn't a God.
It was almost like it was not she, but I guess it was almost like the movie was making these animals and nature into its own God.
Yeah.
Little G God. Not Dream Giver,
Yeah.
but Little G God. Yeah. Oh, man.
And the wind was constantly leading her.
Okay, but at least he gave us the Colors of the Wind song.
But it's filled with animism.
I know. It's such a good song.
Yes, it's a good song.
What about her defying her father constantly?
Yeah, I mean, that's not really, like, mentioned at all.
Really?
Like,
Because
she
I
doesn't
stole
get-
off your notes.
Well, I'm saying it's not really, like, she doesn't get a consequence for it, is what I meant.
Oh, okay. So she
Yeah.
defies her parents.
Defies her
essentially. Father. And there's no consequence. He's just like...
Yeah. I mean, it ends up being a good thing because she saves John Smith.
Yeah.
But all the running away,
But the movie didn't show any consequence for ignoring what your parents tell you to
Right.
do. Yeah. And it wasn't like her parents were being unreasonable. It wasn't like her dad was telling her to do something that was wrong.
Yeah.
He was telling her to do the right thing, and she ignored him.
Yeah.
And no consequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no negative consequence.
Yeah.
So, you have anything else?
Well, I did have, like, the holy man, there's, like, dreams and visions and stuff like that, which to me is demonic activity. I mean, I know it's just a
but
cartoon.
the witchcraft and wizardry from Harry Potter, that's okay.
Okay.
No.
No.
Explain the difference. Because
Okay.
you liked one
Okay.
movie and didn't like the other
No,
one?
I like this movie.
Mhm.
Okay, when the holy man is praying and doing his little dance around the fire, he sees in the fire a vision of the new men, and he says that they're dangerous and evil. Okay, that's one thing.
Explain to them. I'm listening.
So it sounds like demons are giving him information on these men that he's never seen, and he doesn't
Why does it
know.
have to be demons? Why can't it be angels?
Okay. Why? Okay, could be angels, but why would the angels turn hate? The angels wouldn't, like, have them pitted against each other. And
I gotcha. Well, okay, wasn't it... It was giving him a vision, correct?
Yes.
Maybe it was telling him what the future was going to happen.
Okay.
And he instead
misinterpreted
of him...
He's saying that they're gonna come to kill us, which
Yeah.
is, I guess, was true. They
They did it, but
Yeah.
instead of... And you know what? He did the right thing during the story. He actually was like, we're not going to fight them.
Okay, so maybe
Maybe
godly
what you're
activity.
saying. I'm not saying it wasn't demons, but I'm also saying you can't sit here and say it was demons for a fact.
It's true, I can't.
You cannot
First of all,
say
it's
that.
a cartoon, so.
It is and they didn't say demons or anything, or didn't say
No.
anything evil. It was more of like he got a vision of the future, and he did act upon it because they did come to attack him, and he was like, "We're not going to fight you."
Yeah.
Like even though they were all armed to the teeth with their, spears and whatever and bows and arrows they had. Yeah, they didn't attack. He's like, we're not going to attack you just because we're different.
But
That was during the final fight.
then they did. They only said that after Pocahontas saved John Smith.
Yeah.
They were going to kill each other.
Well, yeah,
It was
okay.
Pocahontas
Well, he's
that
still a
saved
man. He still is going to make mistakes, and they did realize the errors of the way. But I think it was more of like
I'm
a vision.
saying there's a possibility of showing some demonic activity. That's all I was saying.
Possibly.
Yeah. You don't have to agree.
But yes, this movie would have a lot of. You would have to. I guess this is with your kids. You would have to, if you're gonna let your kids watch Pocahontas. I almost feel like it's probably not worth your time. It's not even that good of a movie in the first place. It's not like it's a good movie.
It's like the whole Hercules.
It's not. Yeah, it's not like it's a good movie in the Christian nutritional value. At least Hercules is decent.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, so for Christian nutritional value, I give the movie a 4 out of 10.
I gave it a 1.
A 1 out of 10. Okay.
Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you paint with all...
Final score. Our final score combined was a 59 out of 100, which may be our No, Road to El Dorado is pretty freaking
Yes.
bad. Yeah, the movie's terrible. But this is definitely our lowest rated Disney movie so far.
Mm-hmm.
And for good reason. And I don't... it's like hard to recommend. It has moments of goodness. It's just overall, as a whole package, not that good.
It's worth watching like once.
Yes.
Definitely once.
It's worth watching once. It's worth buying on VHS.
Yes.
It's worth spending $1. Worth spending $1. That's our review of this movie. But I wouldn't go buying it for repeat viewings for my children. At all. No. I just wouldn't. It's worth as an adult or even as a teen. Because as a teen, you have a better...
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike Sandlot, where a lot of those things that were issues in that movie was actually teenager issues, more or less. Pocahontas has a lot of issues that would be for little kids, whereas like as a teenager, you understand that. I mean, unless you're just dumb, that the animals aren't, most of the issues aren't going to be an issue and for teenagers. So teenagers and above are fine. I wouldn't do it for kids. Nope. All right, next time on Seeing Movies, we are reviewing... I'm trying to be nice. The Black Cauldron from 1985, which you probably never even heard of. Or knew that was a Disney movie, but we did, and we bought it and we watched it and we're reviewing it next time, so stay tuned.
Bye.
Are you stealing my lines?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye!